I'm Ron Lodge, the baby of the family, the spoiled one, of course. And I started working at the bicycle shop in grade school sometime, sweeping floors. I distinctly remember Dad paid me 40 cents an hour. It was my first wage that I earned. And he started teaching me the locksmith business when I was 14. And, so I worked with him on that for roughly 3 years. I was 17 when he passed away. So we were fortunately able to take that part of the business, and Jeannie and I, build that up to what it is today in keyhole security. So that's our family continuation of Wenatchee Cycle Toy, Archie Lodge's legacy.
I'm Diane Lodge, and I was the 5th child out of 6 in our family, and I worked doing bookkeeping and sales in the early 70s for a couple of years, along with, I think all of us probably started out with the job of dusting off the toys and shelves at a pretty young age, or a pretty small difference.
And I'm Andrea Lodge, and I, like Diane was saying, I did a little bit of Christmas work, I think, in high school, would come and help out a bit, and then left the area for about 3 or 4 years and came back when my father was ill to help and had heart complications to help out with the business, and sort of came an instant manager working for my mother since Dad was home and bedridden. And then he passed away and the business became Mother's, so I worked under her for how many years? 5 to 10 years. And anyway, then Mother ended up selling the business to dividing it. Ron and Jeannie had the keyhole, and I had the bicycle business. And Mother became the bookkeeper. So that's the way it went.
I'm Jeannie Lodge. I would have been Archie's daughter-in-law if he had lived that long to see me marry his youngest. But I worked there from 78 until the keyhole split and we joined together and operated that. I was a trained swing technician. So I did learn how to do the business, and then later on I helped to manage the keyhole.
I think the museum, and kudos to Casey Costa, she's done a great job putting this together. And it brings back all those memories. You get to see little pieces of Wenatchee Cycle Toy. And we've highlighted, kind of 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, that era of it. And again, so many of the facets of what made up Wenatchee Cycle Toy are here in this exhibit. And so for those of you that grew up here and went in, it'll bring back those memories. And for anybody who, our kids and grandkids and the current generation that go, what's Wenatchee Cycle Toy? Never heard of it. It'll tell you a piece of Wenatchee's history.
Another thing I think of are the hundreds of young people that worked at that store over all of the years, because Dad hired a lot of junior high school kids that worked there over the years and were on the payroll, and he paid them. Some of them started out, like Diane said, cleaning and dusting, and some learned to work on bikes. And Louis Olson, who has loaned some items for the exhibit, has told the story of how he hung around there until finally one day Dad said, well, if you're going to be sitting around here all the time, you might as well go to work. and so I think that's part of its legacy too. Just like the charge accounts to kids, we had a lot of newspaper boys that started charge accounts to buy their bikes so they could go deliver their newspapers, and just all of the kids that have worked there over the years. And I'm sure many, many people that do come to the exhibit will probably be previous employees of Wenatchee Cycle Toy, because there are many, many of them.
Yeah, I think between all the kids he hired and all the kids that Bob Scanlon had around him, that there's a huge community of people that remember the store. Just remember what it used to be. And I think they bring back a lot of memories for a lot of people. His sense of humor.
Yeah.
He had a pretty broad humor.
He was a practical joker.
Yeah.
And had a quick wit.
But I think as far as the people who were, downtown business people all appreciated him and loved him. He was a member of the Lions Club, and I'm sure known as a jokester at meetings, which they all had a fun time. Well, I think a lot of it would be the generations of people that went there, and people growing up and then in turn bringing their children, and then again bringing their children for years. And it was a very down home, comfortable place to go into.
In that special theme of the store as a kid, if it's show and tell time at school, what does your dad do? My dad owns a bicycle and toy store. How cool is that? And the shop was so full of so many different things. And the bikes and the toys and the games and the hobbies and, model rockets and airplanes, and it was endless. And so I think even having gone there, as Andy said, on the Sunday afternoon trips and all that, it's like the next Sunday you could discover something that you didn't even know existed before. Because you go around some corner and I didn't know we had that. And there's just so many little cubby holes and, places that you discover new things. It was a wonderment as a kid. We learned an amazing work ethic from Dad. I can safely say that as a business owner, my dad never screwed anybody. He was an honest businessman. And, and like any business owner, he had to deal with some stinker, customers. And, but he was honest to the end. And we learned that you do your best. You do your best to try to please the customer. Is the customer always right? Not so sure. But you go that extra mile to make things right. And so, we've carried that on in our business. And we don't badmouth other businesses, and we don't badmouth customers. It's not a way to do business. And so, that work ethic has really translated through to our current management and our employees, and that's a good part of his legacy. Yeah.
And my first thought when you asked that question, I wasn't going to cry like that softy over there, but was honesty. That's exactly what went through my mind. And sort of the same thoughts. I won't say the customer's always right, but just to be fair with people and honest with people.
I don't know if we even really, at a young age, appreciated the fact that all these toys were, we always got them for Christmas and things, but we weren't inundated with toys. I think we we didn't get an extreme amount for Christmas or anything, but they were just always a part of our life. We had lots and lots of games, and we would play games in the evenings all the time, board games and things. So they were always around, but it wasn't just like they were just an overabundance or anything.
Although we probably did go through more bicycles.
Well, we always knew that Schwinn was the best because our dads told us. And so we knew nothing else. We never had bikes other than Schwinn's because our dad owned the Schwinn store. And, I had my share of new bikes through the years and the Stingrays and the 10 speeds, and I wish I had them all. Some of them are quite collector's items now.
As having grown up, he was always just a part of, work there.
Yeah.
And I don't think we had the appreciation for him that all those hundreds of other kids did, and I didn't realize his notoriety when I was that young. It was just kind of the way he was, but we were never really at his house. Our contact with him was at the store itself. So, and he was just always just the kindest person.
Yes, always very sweet. I know I thought of him as Dad's right-hand man. He was
Right.
always there.
Right.
He was if Dad was gone, he was in charge. And I think we knew a bit about him and how kids went to his house and that I think it almost annoyed Dad a little bit because there would be too many hanging around there, wanting Bob to talk to Bob when Bob was supposed to be working, but the kids just loved him, and he also Bob did do drawings and artwork for the store, and also designed some of the Christmas cards our parents sent out that were very unique and personalized, and we always appreciated him for everything he did, no doubt about that. And we had our names on our bikes too, just like everybody else. No extra charge, every bike went out with their name, usually in the olden days on the chain guard. As chain guards disappeared, it went to other areas. And then on top of that, Bob Scanlon did a lot of artwork for these kids on baseball hats and mitts, baseball mitts and shirts. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this interview with the Lodge family, who operated the beloved Wenatchee business, Wenatchee Cycle Toy, for 60 years. We look forward to inviting you to come visit this featured exhibit, Tomfoolery, Vintage Fun from Wenatchee Cycle Toy, which will be reinstalled in the museum in the summer of 2021.